Hello, beautiful people. How are we all doing?
Hey, y'all.
Hello. Happy Wednesday if you listen to this when this drops. Happy whatever else day if you listen to it whenever you've got the time. We're happy you're here and we hope to give you a good time. I'm going to start this podcast by saying I have had a chemical peel. So if I look dirty and my skin looks somehow, it's because it is falling off the bone and I'm going through a lot. Under my chin is peeling. I can't even show you guys my forehead.
This is not the worst though. You're getting to the other sides.
Girl, I don't even know because I don't know what's taking this. Normally it gets a bit like it's speedier, but it's just not. I don't know if the surface of my skin is tough or something. It's just taking a bit longer now. So I've been peeling for over a week now. And normally you peel about 6 days. But alas, I'm here. We are here. It's your girl, Tolly T.
And just call me Audrey.
Audrey, you are fresh off the Mobos.
I am, literally just got off the train from Newcastle and came straight here. You see, a working girl who means business. No, honestly, it was amazing. I had a really good time.
Let's start off by saying we didn't win.
Yeah, we did not win.
90s baby won.
They did.
And in all honesty, that is the only people I can lose against and be classy about.
Yeah, they are if it wasn't us, I would genuinely have wanted it to be them.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I'm
absolutely.
really, really happy for the guys and they bloody deserve it. Do you know what I mean? They're so humble. They had no idea we were sat on the same table. And they genuinely were so shocked when their name was called.
I knew they were going to win.
It was the cutest thing ever.
Aww.
They were really, really genuinely surprised.
That's
and then, they went and gave their speech and thanked God and thanked their wives and, bragged about all being married men and, Fred's got a baby on the way. It was just all so wholesome. So no, it was really nice. We got lit on the table and we celebrated. Obviously gutted for us, but it couldn't have gone to better people. Obviously, shout out everyone in the category. It was a strong category. There was
60 million.
There was so many people in that category as well. So, and that went across the spectrum of content creators.
Yeah.
But no, I'm happy. I'm genuinely happy for the boys. So yeah, it
Tell
was
us
good.
about the night. Just us. Give me the story.
No, do you know what? It was good. It was good. So I went with Nick and took the train up there. It was all very wholesome. It was fine. We took the train, had a nice time.
I'm not this. So it was
Do you
good.
know what?
What happened?
I'll be so real. There wasn't really that much gist. Literally, well, not that I saw anyway. I know there was after parties. I didn't go. I went to the main one for 10 minutes and then left because my feet were absolutely killing. But other than that, I didn't see any gist. I did the red carpet and that was nice because one of the journalists was from ITV and she loved the podcast and it was really, really sweet because doing red carpets, we've talked about it before, it can be very awkward sometimes. But I guess in that space, they would know who you are kind of thing, especially if you're nominated. So yeah, did the red carpet and what was awkward is that they asked me to do a Geordie accent and that is the one accent that I cannot do. So I was just stuck. I was like, why I? She was like,
why I never?
And she was just like, okay, well, have a great night. Congratulations on the nomination, blah, blah, blah. And just kept it moving. But yeah, other than that, there wasn't really that much gist,
Vice Cartel was there. His wife was there.
Exactly.
Spice was there.
Spice was there. She walked right past, we were sat right at the front, so we just had a full view of everything. So yeah, Spice was dope. I had no idea Vibes was there, so that was a shock for me. I was more excited to see Sidem, to be honest. That woman is a real one.
She looks really good, actually.
She really...
Pictures I saw, she looked
good. She looks really, really good. And everything he's been doing, she's right there by his side. Dare I say, I actually think it's real love. I genuinely think she's a real one. I think their origin story was she was writing to him from prison as a fan. And then she was just consistent and then they got together and they got engaged and they've been together ever since. But yeah, I was excited to see Sidem. She was proper on stage with them. It was cute. And then what else happened? Bashi was really good. Kleps and Conan performed. They were really good. Who else performed? Oh my God, I've got a brain freeze. Oh, Odell performed. He was really good. Odell. It was a great night. I'm sure stuff went down at the after parties, but I was not present. I left early after. So yeah, that's it really. That's the Mobos rundown. There's not really much to tell. It was a good night. I had fun, and that was it.
I rarely ever get FOMO, right? It's just not if I decide I'm not going somewhere, I'm very okay with not going somewhere, so I don't get FOMO. I did not get it at all with that. I was like,
well,
okay.
I don't know what to tell you. It was a good night. I had fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed myself, and I was happy for the boys. And that was it, really. Yeah,
What
it was a good
other
night.
awards were there? Who were the big winners?
The big winners, like Bashi, he won 2.
He had an album out.
Yeah, he
did,
won
yeah.
Best Album and something else I can't remember. Odell?
I really like that boy.
Yeah.
That's a good looking boy.
Yeah, he is.
He is so good looking.
He won 2.
Did he perform?
Yeah, he did. He performed. And then they did like an R&B mashup actually with some of the R&B girlies, which was good. Shola Amar and who was the other girl? I think Shay Universe.
Oh yeah.
And Jazz Caris. That was good. That was actually a very good performance. Yeah, no, it was good. It was good.
How was Newcastle as a town?
Do you know what? The people are so friendly. Everywhere's just friendlier.
Everyone says that about North. Yeah,
everyone is just friendlier than London.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like
says that.
everyone's so friendly. Like you get there, people smile at you. Like everyone at the hotel was so like accommodated and lovely. Like yeah, the vibes were good. I was not there long enough to like explore the city. As soon as I got there, I had to go straight to go get ready and stuff. So I didn't explore as much as what I would have liked to. But no, it was nice. Very cold though. My God. It was bloody
just
freezing.
Just a lot colder.
No, just a lot colder than down here. But no, it was, Newcastle was nice. What else happened? I'm just trying to think of anything remotely exciting. Oh no, I was happy for Manelia because Manelia won as well. And shout out Manelia because I love that song. So she won, I think, Best Video.
The My Man song?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Best Video or something like that. So I was happy for Manelia as well. So that was a good win.
Every time I go to those things, I wonder like, because obviously I knew I wasn't going. Did you prepare a speech in case we did win?
No, I didn't want to because I feel like when you do that, then you're not going to. I don't know why. That's such a like messed up logic. But no, I didn't prepare no speech. And I was like, if we would have won, I would have just gone up there and winged it.
Well, okay, this is your time. You didn't get to do the speech.
Yes.
This is our space. And the winner, my winner, for the media personality of the year is the Receipts Podcast.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Take a minute, you walk up to the stage. What song would they pick?
I would have toddled.
Whatever they're picking.
I would have toddled up to the stage.
Come check your head now.
Oh my God.
Never mind business.
Oh my God, guys. Guys, I can't believe I'm up here. Oh my God, this thing's heavy. This is heavy.
Okay.
Oh my God, guys, I cannot believe that we won this award. Honestly, I'm so gassed. I'm so grateful. I did not see this come in at all. And I would have been like, oh my God, thank you to everybody who makes the Receipts Podcast what it is, our whole entire team. Thank you to all our listeners, to everybody who voted. Thank you to God. Thank you to our families. But most importantly, thank you to my girl, Tolly T. She couldn't be here today. But honestly, without you, there's no Receipts Podcast. So shout out you. Thank you,
Peace
everybody.
out.
Thank you. I probably would have said something along those lines.
What I told Audrey to say is, I was like, if we win, say fuck the haters. And drop the mic.
I would have said that on the way out with the award. I would have said that on the way out. But yeah, my speech would have gone a little something like that. But yeah.
Hey, there's many more awards.
Exactly. Exactly.
Do you feel there's an importance of being award winning in what you do?
Not really. Yeah, yes and no. Do you know what? Actually, I feel like being nominated is important because you're recognised by your industry. Do you know what I mean? I'd be a liar if I sat here and said I didn't care about that. I do think it's important to be recognised by your industry. But I think when it comes to votes and stuff like that, depending on if it's like a board or whether it's like a public vote.
Yeah.
I think a public vote, to me, that would mean a lot because it's like people go out of their way to do that. Do you know what I mean? And people like really rally behind you. So I feel like that would be incredible. I'm not against any award, whether it be some sort of board or whether it be a public vote. But I think a nomination is nice because it's the acknowledgement that, because when you deep it, there's so many content creators. And even like, just talking about Mobos in particular, that's a music award. So the fact that they've even opened it out to content creators, like it's nice because I know there's other podcast awards and stuff like that, but I don't know that there's many awards that celebrate like our space. And that's the biggest one as far as I'm concerned, as far as I'm aware. So I feel like a nomination because out of everybody, the fact that you've been narrowed down to like 8 people, 6 people, whatever it is, it's really dope. To win is like a cherry on top of the cake.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like to win obviously would be incredible. Like who the hell would want to be nominated for something and not want to win? Like you'd just be lying to yourself. But I think a nomination is super dope. But I don't think it's like the be all or end all. Like I always say, like for me. And do you know what's mad is that when afterwards and even beforehand, just like pre-drinks and all of that, so many people came up to me. Like the amount of people, whether it be like people in the industry that are not of the industry, whatever, that were like, oh my God, I love the podcast. Like,
that's nice.
Like that to me is
yeah.
so dope. Like that's what means the world. Like when like one girl is actually like, you've literally changed like how I look at female friendship. She's like, I go to you guys to learn about the dynamics of female friendships. It just feels so safe. Like when people say stuff like that, or they get like starstruck when they meet you, or there's always other people around and they see you and get gas, like that is mad. And so many people came up to me yesterday to just be like, we love you girls. Like what you girls do is amazing. You're incredible. I love the podcast. Like I'm looking at people thinking, oh, that girl's so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And then like there was one girl, I can't even remember who she was with. And then she was like, oh my God, Audrey, I love the podcast. And I was proper looking at her thinking,
love the receipts.
I was proper looking at her like thinking, oh my God, this girl is so gorgeous. Like who is she kind of thing. And then when like we locked eyes and she let me know that she's like a fan of the show and all the rest of it. So I think the real award is the people. Like that's the real award. Like there's nothing like people valuing what you do, because that's just real life, isn't it? I think all the other stuff is like, yeah, it's nice, but it's not like the true meaning of things. But I definitely like, yeah, nominate us. Like definitely nominate us, like definitely acknowledge us and all the rest of it. But
there was like critique here or there about the awards, who was presenting and things like that, which I thought was like interesting. Like I mean, I think I've got my own views about the Mobos or awards in general that I'll leave for group chats. But that there was interesting critique. Yeah.
What was the critique?
It was, I mean, the one that I saw, which I know, I understand why it's that way, and I kind of agree with it. And I also, there's arguments for both sides. And the critique was like, everybody presenting an award seems like an ex-Love Islander.
Yeah.
Like there was just loads of like, yeah, that's what it was. It was just like ex-Love Islanders and things like that. And also we are in a country with many presenters. There's the Nadia Jays, there's Julia Denuga, there's Henry. There is like, I don't even want to start naming because I will forget people. There's Remy, there's just a shit ton of people who do radio, who are in this, who have been grafting for this thingy. And everybody who seems to be given that space is like someone who was on Love Island. And this is no critique to them. Hey, I think there's sometimes I think of Take Up With God. Sorry, that's my favourite in it. But I just kind of feel like, is it even a Take Up With God situation, or the industry has got really weird where it just credits your popularity,
yeah,
rather than your actual skill set?
Yeah, 100%. Like I would like to think where, like, let's call it for what it is. It's a Black British space, that there are so many people, even artists that have come and gone, that are like actually in the space, grinding, working hard. Again, I don't know the politics of how these things are decided. It feels like it's a popularity contest, and if you've got 1 million followers, then here, come give this, because we want to get bums on seats, we want to get eyes on, on the show. So it definitely does feel that way. But again, I don't know how these things are decided. I don't know whether they reach out to people and people decline. I don't know whether it's a thing where like those people are just completely ignored. But to me, it does feel like, why wouldn't these be, even if it is just to present, do you know what I mean? Like to present an award or whatever it is.
The presenters I saw talking about it. And the thing is, let me be very clear. I'm actually not talking about the host of the awards. I'm talking about people presenting.
Oh, yeah.
Presenting.
Yeah, coming out, yeah.
Because like from what I saw last year, I haven't watched this year's one. From what I saw last year, India did a very good job. So it's not even
she's really,
a dig
really, really
or
good.
think anything. But the presenters that I saw being like, talking about it to be like, the way they were talking about it, they weren't asked. They didn't say no to it.
Yeah.
Like they weren't asked. They weren't
Yeah.
asked is what it was. They just wasn't considered. They weren't asked. And I just think, how do we think we're going to platform these people when we don't give them big stages like this? Like, when you watch your Grammys or you watch your thingy or other award shows, sometimes the people who are presenting it, I don't know who they are, but the industry does. The industry does that is this presenter, that is this, that is this.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the viewer needs to know who that presenter is, but it means a lot to that presenter who's been grafting. Yeah,
definitely. If they've been in the industry, then they should be doing. They should be doing it. I think definitely with the people that are presenting the awards, it just I don't necessarily understand the correlation. I get it. People have been on TV, they've got loads of followers and all the rest of it. But there definitely are people that are seasoned, that have been in the industry a long time, that should be platformed in that way.
Yeah,
definitely. But I do think when it comes to like award ceremonies and stuff like that. I mean, again, I don't know what the politics is of Mobos, like why it's moved up north. And I don't even want to be that ignorant Londoner that's like, why is it not in London? Because I don't know. Do you know what I mean? My assumption would be that it's a money thing, it's a budget thing. But I think it's like a full circle thing. Like, I think it's a 360-degree argument. I think if we... I think the presenters thing, that's a very specific thing. I don't know, because there's no reason why you wouldn't ask a Trevor Nelson or whoever it is to come and present an award. Like there's so many people.
Award. I think every presenter should host a radio show.
They
have links. There's a link to music.
Yeah. And then if you want to spray in the other people, then absolutely like spray them in. Do you know what I mean? Or sprinkle them in even. So with the whole presenting the awards, I completely agree. But I also think that when it comes to these things can only be as good as people intend, like as much like emphasis as people place on them. So if people don't go, it doesn't become good. And I feel like sometimes with the influencers, they're always willing to go. They're willing to make a song and dance. They're going to do the content. They're going to show up. They're going to do the red carpet.
Yeah.
And ultimately, that's what you want. Do you know what I mean? But if everyone's like, well, I'm not going to go, no shade, then it's not. Then it's not going to be good. Do you know what I mean? So everybody has to, like, everyone has a part. And I always think that, like, whenever I've watched award ceremonies, I've always noticed that the people that go tend to win. And if I'm running an award ceremony, that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're not going to come, I'm not going to give you an award. Like, that doesn't... Do you know what I mean? It doesn't, like, it makes logical sense in terms of getting bang for your buck. So I think it's a 360 thing. I feel like if people want to make things more prestigious, and if you consider yourself prestigious, you should go and you should attend. So that's like it used to be.
Like many award shows.
I don't know why people stopped going.
I think it's how they got treated. I don't think suddenly someone decided it's not cool anymore. I think it's that, like, you watch it over the years, you watch dynamics change, you watch things change. You're like, why? Like, for me personally, my overall line with this is that I have a thing, and I've realised it more in the last couple of years, sort of thing. I can go to things because it's going to be a laugh. I go to things because it's like, I know the people hosting it. So I'm like, oh, this is my friend. I'm going to go support my friend. I go to things because I rate it for many reasons. There's many reasons why I don't go to things. And I think we can sometimes get to a place where the industry maybe, this is not the Mobos, this is just as a whole kind of thing. I think it sometimes has the habit of praising people who are just out here but not doing the work.
Yeah. That I 100%.
Do you know what I mean? But they're just out here, innit? They've got the followers, they do what they're just out here, but are people doing the work? And I wouldn't even mind if the people that I see doing the work, if I also see them getting credited. It's like, cool, run it. Like, balanced, everybody wins sort of thing, but it doesn't feel balanced. You're having like people who have got 16 years radio experience being told that, well, if you had 100,000 followers, this can run.
Yeah, that whole...
What we're saying here?
And that,
people who've done like broadcast journalism degrees, people who outside of degrees have been grafting, but you're telling them, get your likes up, get your followers up. And I understand the game is the game. But I think there's a way to make the game more honourable by seeing to all things. Yeah. You can also be popular and also rate the people doing the work. Yeah. You can, like, all these people can be in the same space. But I think I just have a big thing about, like, hey, we're really praising who's out here.
Yeah, bring back hierarchy.
But there are people in the back who are doing the work and really moving and shaking, but we're not giving them their accolades. And sometimes I think going to these things will confuse people to which one of those people you are. So that's why I just tap out sometimes.
Yeah, no, I hear it. I definitely agree. Like, I do think like that whole thing of like, you are given opportunities based on your followers and stuff like that is really lame, because
I get the game.
That is not a reflection of like the work that you're doing, and like people that maybe are not getting those likes or do not have that kind of engagement or whatever it is, the metrics that people use, that doesn't reflect like your passion, that doesn't reflect like your expertise, your knowledge, like, or even like your blood, sweat and tears. Like none of like, it doesn't really mean anything. Like you can put out a project that absolutely slaps, that doesn't hardly do anything numbers wise or in terms of like that whole social media space, but it's critically acclaimed. It's like, it's rated, it's loved, and you're not getting like rewarded. And then someone just comes along because they've been on a TV show and then here they are getting all these opportunities. Like, and that is what it is. Yeah. That is literally what it is at the moment.
There's no insult. Get it how you get it. The game is the game.
I think it's not on the people.
All of those sayings that you want to say, cool.
Yeah.
But the powers at be, not the people, the powers that be need to also start rewarding skill.
Yeah, it's not the people that are reaping the rewards of these things, because why the hell wouldn't you take it?
Like, of course, let's go.
If I had the aesthetic to go on Love Island and kill it and come out and then get all these brand deals and go to all these events and not have put my blood, sweat and tears and talking for years and doing all of this and all the rest of it, I'm going to bloody do it. So I'm not shitting on the people. But yeah, I totally agree. I think it is an industry thing and it does dilute the quality of things.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm sure there are people out there who probably feel the same about me. When you go, feels like movie premieres or Q&As or whatever, and there's probably someone like, I'll get invited to a movie premiere. Someone's like, yeah, I've been in this industry. Like, there's no reason why I should not also get that.
Yeah.
And I just think there should just be everybody. Like,
I think like
let's all be in it.
I think that the people that are actually, especially if it's something like a specific industry, like music, for example.
You were holding on to that.
Like, I know, I was probably holding on thinking it was a real Mobo. I was like, I need to put it down. It's not actually an award. I do think that like we need to bring back hierarchy. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being like you people are the pioneers of this. Like you need to be like championed and then everyone else can come along for the ride. But the people that we're actually going to champion are the people that are like making this thing what it is. Make like you know, like the movers and shakers of the industry. Like I definitely agree with it. I we see it all the time. So
yeah.
I hear it. But for me, in terms of, because we were nominated, it was vital that I went because I just felt like it was important and it was something to celebrate and something to be proud of. And of course, it would have been nice to bring it home. But for me, I was very, very like, I was just so grateful, especially after the year that we had. I was so happy and so grateful to wrap up 2024 with a nomination of that magnitude. Yeah. So I just felt like it was important to show up because otherwise those people do completely take over. If the people that are actually doing the work, they're getting the invites and they're not going, then of course it's just going to be a Love Island fest because they're the people that are always going to accept the invite. So it's a.
I didn't even get the invite.
It's a chicken. No, we did.
Who?
Yeah, we did.
Who invited us?
Mobo. Once you're nominated, you're invited. Yeah. So, so it's a chicken and egg situation. It's just like, do you not go to make a point and let the thing completely get taken over by the thingy?
Or I'm speaking for myself. I don't think, I'm not going to make a point. I'm just like, oh, not for me.
Okay.
Like, it's not like I'm going to stand against stuff. Like, get it. I honestly can't tell you enough how much I believe in get it how you get it. If this was your path and what people took 10 years to build, you got to skip, get it how you get it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Use what it is that you have and use the right thing. Many people go to Love Island and don't come out with a can't
yeah, there's
Some
bare
people go and they're completely forgotten. So I completely believe in get it how you get it. I just thought, oh no. Also, I'm a brokey. It's a fucking expensive night. Like, let's call this right. It's expensive. You have to go up to Newcastle, get your hotel that you're paying for your train to Newcastle. You're paying for your hotel. You're paying for your hair. You're paying for your makeup. You have to pay for your dress. People who are still going to critique it and say that, oh, you wasn't wearing Chanel. You have to pay for your accessories. Like, when it's all added up, that's a £1,500 night.
Yeah. And generally I don't go like to events, but like I will make the concession for like a big thing.
Yeah.
And had we not been nominated, I wouldn't have been there. But because we were nominated, I was like, I'm going to go in, I'm going to, do what needs to be.
A spare 1.5.
Do what needs to be done and keep it moving.
I don't have a spare 1.5 for a night. And like, there's many things I'm trying to do this year that require finances. So I just have to be smarter.
No, I hear it.
I also,
I also hear that side of things.
But I mean, I'm happy that you went. You looked beautiful.
Thank you.
And
no, it was a good night. And I've obviously heard about how like sloppy it's been in the past, but I didn't feel that. Again, good. I don't know what goes on in the back end, but I didn't feel any of that. It felt very smooth, very well organized. Like, they as nominees, we were looked after. We were transported from place to place to place. Like there was,
nice.
It felt good. Again,
did you get fed?
There was food at they had like a pre-reception thing.
Okay, yeah.
But I was late for that, so I didn't make the food.
I've always wondered, like when people.
But you don't get fed at the table. No, you don't get fed at the table. You get fair drink, which is crazy. So if you haven't eaten before, like you're going to get fucked up. So on the table they had mist, like crepes and Culinary drink, which slaps.
That tequila,
by the way,
salted caramel one.
Oh my,
the best tequila I've ever put my
This is not even an ad.
on.
It genuinely slaps. Like it was so good. I was backing that like there was no tomorrow.
You don't realise this.
Yeah, because it tastes so good, so it doesn't feel like tequila. So there was
it's smooth salted caramel goes down your throat.
And they had bear drink, but then afterwards it was like sponsored by Greggs or something. I did not know that.
So you didn't get sausage roll?
I did, but so they had like a Greggs truck after the award ceremony. they transported everybody over to the location of the after party, and there was a Greg's truck, and they were just banging out sausage rolls, steak pies and stuff. And it was actually mad because all these like industry people were like begging like fiends for a sausage roll. And it was like so funny because people are literally in gowns and shit, and people are like and the women that were serving, bless them, they were they felt so powerful.
Aww.
They were like, what, like, so they were putting the food in the trays, because they were making it fresh. And then they were just like, one of them was like, 60 seconds, should we do a countdown? Everyone was like,
give me the sausage roll.
Like, just run the sausage rolls. Like, people were literally begging like fiends for the food. It was
so again,
so
in
funny.
an economy where everything is shutting down.
Oh my God.
Greg's
is still flourishing.
To open in every store in central London, sponsor the Mobos and have a Greg bus.
Yeah. And
you're telling me these people are not front.
And they are everywhere as well. Like, you know, like how like here we have Pret everywhere.
Yeah.
There, from what I saw, the ratio, like I barely saw the city, but I saw a lot of Greg's. Like whilst I was there, like
even now there's a Greg's everywhere in London.
They're popping up. They're getting
fully
money,
newly furnished.
Yeah, they're proper getting money. But they dished out Greg's food.
Get down to the bottom of this. To be fair, the last time we talked about Greg's, they sent us black cards.
Exactly. They don't give a heck. They're like, any publicity is good publicity. They don't give a shit.
They're like, here,
they were like, go and...
So you got my name in your mouth.
Yeah, exactly. They were like, oh, we love it. They were like, I was like, oh, did you guys like actually listen? We like accused you of money laundering, like essentially. But no, shout out Greg's. Shout out Greg's, we love you.
They said, if you want to keep my name in your mouth, put a sausage roll in it too.
Exactly.
You bitches.
They do not care. They're
but
like,
hey,
you
the
mentioned
sausage
us.
roll will always start. When Vogue came here, we told them to go to Greg's and get sausage roll.
But everybody tells people to go to Greg's. It's like a known thing that you just go to Greg's.
Speaking about that, have you seen the things about British food and all of that?
Do you know what? Yeah, yes, I have. Like people are really, and do you know what? Yeah, people do really get defensive, and then the whole thing is like, but you're not even from there. It's like, I fucking live here. I was born here. Like there's going to be some attachment or some affiliation with this country. I'm so sorry. Like I'm not mad at people that defend this country down.
So the whole thing has been like, you know, for a very long time, if there is ever like been a problem with Black Americans and Black British people, like what we go for the jugular of the like, oh, we have NHS and you guys, your food is like, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then they come and tell us that we eat fucking beans on toast.
Did you see that woman that made a refined version of beans on toast?
Beans on toast doesn't need to be complicated. Get out of here.
No.
Like, you open the hive.
No, it was rude what she did.
You put it in the microwave and you bake, I'm saying you toast your toast. If you're fancy, you use that good bread. Is it Jones? Oh, that bread slaps.
Like that thick, like sourdough.
Oh, that bread slaps so much. You do that, slather with some Lurpak, lightly salted, and you put your beans on top. Slaps.
Beans on toast.
You don't need to, it's by virtue of what it is, it's a simple meal.
It's supposed to be, exactly. This woman was like, it was so disrespectful because she had like a plate of normal beans on toast and then she slapped it to the side and then she was like, this is beans on toast. And it was like proper fancy. It was like beans with like...
She started making ewa. Do you know ewa? Like Nigerian beans.
I was just like,
ewa,
what are you doing? It's like she did a lot. But yeah, it is just supposed to be a simple food. But they say that we like sloppy food. Like that's their thing. They're like, what the fuck is a jacket potato with cheese and beans? Like it's so sloppy.
I don't need you to understand it. I promise you, I actually don't need you to understand
until you taste
my affinity and my love for a good and when you've got the time as well, you put it in the oven, not the microwave,
and let it be crispy.
And you've like pierced holes in it, and then you've rubbed some salt around it, and then you put it in the microwave for that good 40. I mean, not microwave, oven. Microwave is quicker. But if you've got that time and the hunger hasn't slapped you yet, pop it in the oven.
Yeah, because it's like it takes a minute. It's like 40 minutes.
45 minutes, yeah.
To make it in the oven.
Out when the skin is crispy. And then you do a little cross that way, and then you squeeze the potato up. The skin. And you eat it with the skin as well. And then you put cheese just to melt. And then you put hot baked beans on top of that.
And then I put cheese on top.
More cheese on top.
Oh my God.
And then watch it melt.
I don't understand. Is jacket potato British? Jacket potato, cheese and beans?
Potato's Irish, isn't it?
Oh,
I think.
Jacket and beans and cheese. Is that British?
I don't even care of the origin of it, right?
It just slaps.
It slaps. But that's the thing. So there's a I don't know what, for whatever reason, the Black Brits and the Black Americans are fighting. The girls are fighting. We don't fight.
It's all Madam Joyce's fault. She started it.
What did she do?
Because she had that whole thing about Kendrick, which, by the way,
shout out Madam Joyce.
Do you know what? Yeah, I'm actually going to speak because I'm actually going to defend her, so I don't feel bad about talking about her. That's my fellow podcaster. I think Madam Joyce. I feel like she gets a lot of stick here. And okay, so with the high profile thing, I'm so sorry. Anybody that took that, she was clearly drunk in that video. Like when I saw the original, I was like, this girl is so wasted.
Well, if the girl has 1 million followers or whatever, she's high profile.
She was
Oh,
hammered. I just watched that and laughed, and I just thought this is just she's drunk. She's obviously come back from a night out at Dirty December. She's made this video and posted it.
Yeah.
She's drunk. I didn't think anything of it. Come see the flogging the next day, and she's just getting lashings left, right, and centre. And then this whole thing with like Kendrick, this is actually going to lead me back to the food thing.
Okay.
Is I feel like that's what set off the beef. Yeah.
Okay.
And now it's kind of just like exacerbated into a whole different thing. But I think it started there because the Black Americans were upset on her take on the flipping Super Bowl.
Okay.
And now the beef has just continued and it's just elongated into a whole other thing. And now we're here cussing each other's food. But I do feel like it kind of started there. I mean, not that there wasn't beef before she made that comment, because there is. You know, they always say that, you know, we copy everything they do and we don't have our own identity, and, you know, why are we always in their business and talking about what they do?
I'm so
and
jealous of people who can let this, like,
they're the
take over their
blueprint
lives.
and all the rest. They're the blueprint for blackness and all of this stuff.
Okay.
And so now, yeah, like I said, it's just exacerbated the conversation. But I do believe that it started there, which again, like, damn.
And timing-wise, Keith Lee's in London.
Who?
Keith Lee, the food blogger. Is it Keith Lee?
Oh,
It's
is
Keith Lee,
he?
yeah,
Oh,
he's in London.
no.
So it's just timed out perfectly that he then just happens.
Where's he going to go?
I don't think he's had a good experience yet.
Oh,
he just happens to,
shit.
Keith Lee is a food blogger who goes to restaurants, but he goes kind of like without them knowing it's him, just to get like a real organic
And then definitely not going to know who
experience.
he is here.
So he's going to places, if they're not shut down, the food is not up to par. So just in timing of, there's this conversation about Black Brits and our shitty food apparently, and then there is Keith Lee being in town annoyingly at this time. So it's not looking good, but it doesn't have to look like, I don't understand. And then they're like, to Black Brits to be like, why are you defending British food anyway? Like, are you you're not even from me. Like I said, like this is like, it's the food of your colonizers, whatever. Bruh, leave us alone. I think it was Nana. Someone was like, yo, like, why can't I enjoy my English breakfast?
Yeah, like, that's not a fucking
still,
crime.
like, not be a slave to my colonizers.
Yeah.
And then he replied, which I cried. Someone said it to me. It's the only reason why I miss Twitter. He said, don't you know that hash browns stands for hate browns?
Oh my God.
He said hash browns is code for hate browns.
Oh,
So
was that an actual serious take?
Right.
Or was he bantering?
No, it's bantering.
Oh, thank God.
I think for Nana's account alone, I'll go back to Twitter. Like,
No,
it
that
made
is
me
funny.
laugh so much because
The thing is, there's certain people that will actually believe that as well, you know. And
I
they'll,
was like,
they'll
you know,
run
the
with
hash
it.
browns stands for hate browns.
Oh my God.
Hash browns are the least of my favourite potato makings.
I do like a hash brown, but they need to be well done. Like, I don't like
It
them
rarely
when
ever is well done,
I
you
don't
know?
like them when they're like soggy, and I am partial to soggy food.
Or you bite into it, it can still take a bit of a hard
Yeah,
potato.
no,
or,
it needs
hash
to be
browns are not.
crispy on the outside and fluffy on the inside. But I
Yeah.
don't mind it. But if I go to a cafe and there's the choice between hash brown or chips, I'm probably gonna go with chips.
Yeah.
As opposed to a hash brown. But I'm not mad at a hash brown.
Now, if the Americans want to insult any food and they want us to join in, cool. Let's talk about black pudding. If you want us to be
Ooh.
like, yeah, that's the most disgusting thing ever, I'm down to
I've
fight.
never tasted
I
it,
am
but just
down
the thought
to
of
be
it.
on the side of Americans when we're talking about black pudding.
Do they know that we eat that?
That thing is just...
Or do they eat
That
it
thing
over
is
there?
disgusting.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
What even is black pudding?
Pig's blood.
God.
The people that are so high mighty about not eating pork, my God.
Black pudding.
You
it
never
looks
admit that to someone that doesn't eat
disgusting
pork.
Underplayed.
It looks disgusting.
Because I've always seen it and never tasted it because I'm like,
I've never
don't
tasted
like
it.
the
Pig's
side of
blood.
this.
And even the look of it.
And then I tried it.
No
Oh,
offense to
that
the
is
Scottish.
disgusting.
Yeah,
If
no.
you want to say, why are we adding black pudding to English breakfast?
Mhm.
That fight.
That's a valid
That's a
question.
valid fight.
Is haggis and black pudding this
I don't know what the
what's it called?
haggis
Black
is.
Black pudding.
What is haggis?
I think haggis is black pudding. I'm sure Amanda's going to message
Do
me.
you know what
any
else I
minute.
hate? Oh, God.
What is? Haggis.
Haggis
Oh
is
my
sheep
God, it's even worse
intestine.
than what I thought.
There is one food I hate most above all the
Oh.
foods I hate in this life, and that is liver.
Yeah, liver's disgusting.
I hate
Even
I
pate. The liver
hate
pate is nasty.
liver with all of my heart. Why have we put that as something that is edible?
No.
Do you know the worst bit about fucking liver?
No, liver ain't
You
it.
be eating ayabashi ayamase. I don't know if people know about ayamase. It is like a Nigerian stew. It's ayamase. It's very spicy. Sometimes we'll stick an egg in it. It's like assorted meats, whatever. You'll be eating it with good white rice, yeah? If you're really fancy, you'll be having it with fada rice. And you'll be eating your food, having a good time. And you see a meat. And in your mind, that's just a goat meat, innit? Put it in your mouth and then after the chew, you now taste that it is liver.
Ugh.
Because liver
liver
actually
shouldn't be there.
disguises itself as actual meat.
Ugh.
Nothing makes me angrier than accidentally putting liver in my mouth.
It's got a very specific taste and texture as well. It's got a very specific taste and texture.
And when it's cooking, it smells.
It stinks,
and do you know the things that rises to the top from liver when it's cooking as well? It's disgusting.
That foam.
Yeah, why are we cooking liver? Why?
No, liver is disgusting. And it's not like your taste palette is bougie. It's disgusting. I don't like liver either. The thought of black pudding, someone thought to squeeze the blood and freeze it. I don't know. I don't even understand how it's made. Like, what is it mixed with? Because blood. Anyway, I don't know. I don't understand black pudding. But yeah, those two things.
Also on
absolutely.
the hate list, mushy peas. Disgusting.
Yeah, I don't like peas.
I hate peas.
Yeah.
Do you know I hate peas?
Yeah, I don't like peas.
I
like, say like I'm making a casserole, like, well, I wouldn't if I was making a casserole, I wouldn't put peas in it. But say someone made me a casserole and there was peas in it, I wouldn't be mad. But I'd never have it as a side.
Do you know how much I hate peas? I used to think I had a fear of peas. Like, it was a running joke. Like, as in uni, people would put like a bag of frozen peas in my bed because they know it. I hate peas.
Yeah, the look of them as well. If you're one of those people that doesn't like
disgusting.
Small things close together, I don't know what it's called.
And I don't mind it if I accidentally put it in my mouth and I'm eating a fried rice. No.
Yeah, exactly.
All the other flavours. But to just be eating peas.
Yeah, that's nasty. And definitely mushy peas. I don't understand that concept at all.
I don't even buy mixed veg with peas in it. I avoid it.
Yeah. I
like sweet corn, carrot and broccoli. Mixed veg.
Same. When I buy mixed veg, yeah, exactly. I don't even like carrot really. I'm allergic to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, I'm allergic to raw carrot.
Oh.
So if I eat a raw carrot, it is over for my throat. Like, it's actually mad. But if it's cooked, it's not as bad, but I don't like it. Like, if I make a stir fry and you know when you buy the veg for the stir fry, and because there's different types of stir fry, isn't it? There's like the pepper one, the ones with the red, green and yellow peppers, or there's the other one with the carrots. I love the string beans or whatever. No, not string beans. I can't remember what they're called. But I always take the carrot out. Like, I don't like carrot that much.
I can't lie, I love a raw carrot.
I actually like the taste of a raw carrot to bite into.
Sometimes I really enjoy
I'm not mad at that.
Biting into the foods that are a bit like tough. Sometimes I like a challenge with my food.
Like, some people eat peppers.
I kind of like a little bit of a challenge.
It feels like it's sharpening your teeth.
Yeah, it feels like I've like I'm a caveman again, and I've gotten hard to really I deserve this big bite. I love a crispy apple. I hate soft apples with all of my heart. A little crispy apple.
Like
I don't know, loads of Africans and Nigerians complain. I fucking love shaki. I love it. I love it. I love the challenge that there might be a risk that the stew might go into my eye. I love it. Like, you have to know to bite it and close your eye at the same time. I'm into that kind of a challenge.
Yeah, no, sometimes. I hear it. I'm not mad at a challenge.
I hate easy food. Eating. I don't like soup. It's too easy.
Yeah, I don't like soup. It doesn't fill me up.
No chewing, nothing. Just.
Yeah, I don't like to drink my food. I like to eat my food and chew it. So I don't really like soup that much. But yeah, no, I hear it. But they're proper there. Yeah, I've seen all the fucking discourse about Black Brits and our food and how trash it is and all the rest of it.
And like, why are Black Brits standing up for this or whatever? But it's like,
yeah, it's whatever. The beef is it's just so fucking
and it's
exhausting.
the same. Everyone goes to the same thing every single time. It's healthcare, beef,
and
then it's food, and then
yeah.
I think because, I think I've got to have a very interesting take on this because I am someone who lived in Nigeria, right? I'm very aware of how Nigerian I am, whatever. And I'm like, oh, we're niggas to all of them.
I know. But they really don't see it that way. They really believe that there's like a difference.
I don't have a strong affinity to England like that. I'm an England warrior. I've got a strong affinity to.
Do you feel like if someone was to like with the food thing or just anything British, does any of it like sting? Does any of it permeate a little bit? Or do you just feel completely disattached from the whole?
I feel disattached. Disattached. Like, it's an entertaining, funny thing to me.
Yeah.
Because I I wish I had a life that allowed me to be really offended by this.
Yeah.
Like, I wish like other things weren't going on that I could be like, oh, this is my hill. I'm going to be really, like, I don't care.
I feel like it stops at Black Brit, because if it's like you're in an argument and they're like, "Are you Black Brits?" That's the extent of my offense, like how offended I'm going to be. Anything you're going to say after that, I probably don't care that much.
How strongly do you feel about being a Black Brit?
I feel like I am a Black Brit, but I don't feel like I have any like really strong feelings about it. I just feel like it just is what it is.
Yeah, like
do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's just a fact. Like it's not something that I give much thought to.
Because I think there's also an insult to be like, well, Black Brits doesn't have its own culture.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, our culture comes from being Caribbean, being African, whatever. But so
exactly. Like that's not an insult
and
to
also,
me. That's just
I think there is a thing
truth.
We just got here.
Yeah.
Like, I think there is a continuous thing when we think about this argument that is not considered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. The comparison of generations is insane. Like, Black Americans, some of them will be like 7, 8, 9 generations in.
Deep.
We're like first.
Like,
Do you know what I mean?
am 35 and I am the first in my family to be born in the UK. Like I said, like, I am a first generation. I'm first generation.
Mm-hmm. So of course our roots and culture is going to be more closely tied to just where we're from, because that's just facts. Do you know what I mean? But I just don't really take much thought. Like, I don't even take offense when they say you don't have a culture.
I don't give a heck.
I'm just like, okay. I know that my culture is hybrid. Like, I'm Black British, but I'm also Black African. Do you know what I mean? And it's a mix of both. So yeah,
it's an identity thing that I've always been quite funny about. I get the, do you know the age-old story of like, as like, let's say like a Nigerian or whatever, you are here, if you're born here, you don't necessarily feel like British, and then you go back home and then you're not fully Nigerian. I get where people ride that kind of weird hybrid of that. They're just not too sure who they are, and this need for, I think for me, Black British is not an identity for me, it's a label. And I think there are very big differences between something that's a label and something that I deem as part of my identity.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, being Black British is also saying that I went to Dagenham Park Secondary School. Like I said, like, it doesn't mean, it's not a thing that I feel like has built up. And maybe it has, maybe it's slang or whatever, but I'm not that deeply.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm not really like embedded with it. I just feel like I just adapt. Like, when I go to Ghana, I'm Ghanaian, innit? Like, obviously I understand that there's a nuance because I'm British and I was born here and I don't speak the language and all the rest of it. But again, so, do you know what I mean? Like, but it's not something that weighs on my mind. Like, it's not something that like, oh my God, I feel so sad that I might get treated differently. Because a lot of the time, even when I go over there, it's privilege. Like, that's from my experience anyway. I know that that's not for everybody. So I feel like there's very little to complain about. When I'm here, I'm Black British and I deal with the ups and downs and the trials and tribulations of being a Black Brit. When I go back home, I feel more closer to being home than I do like in terms of having any like actual issues.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Of course, language barrier and all the rest of it. But to me, it's not like I don't lose sleep over that. Do you know what I mean? So I just fit in where I can. I just get it where I can. Like, I'm just not really that invested in it. But yeah, I understand why people get that. I think like for some people, when they're having the back and forth online, it's more that they're having a back and forth online. I don't think it actually is like rooted in anything that I don't think people are really taking that much offense. It's just like, are you jabbed, so I'm going to jab you back.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I just think that's just what it is online. And it's just like, it's like, you're not going to fucking sun us over here. Because I think that there is this narrative that Black British, like, we're weak and like we're all posh and, you know, we eat crumpets and all those fucking lame stereotypes. So I feel like when people are in having these exchanges, they just want to prove like, actually, no, like, we're not dickheads. So I think a lot of it is that as well, more than anything. But
yeah. I guess I feel weird, like, fighting a corner for like a place that I'm in that white people don't want me here. Like I said, like, I'm not fighting for Britain, but they will tell me it's not mine. I'm not fighting for Britain that I'll be like, I'm from here. They'll be like, where are you really from? Like, what's the fight here?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not going to do all of that.
Yeah,
like, do you know what I mean?
Like,
I'm not going to die on the hill.
Yeah, I'm not going to die on the hill.
For someone to come and tell you, oh, well, why are you doing all of that?
Me.
You're not one of us. Like, you're not like us. Like, literally, that's what they're going to come and say. The fact that you can
be like, where are you really from? Is a question that we are frequently asked.
Like, where are you from is...
No, but where are you from? Where are you really from?
I'm from London. Where are you from?
No.
London.
No, where you from?
England.
Yeah, like where you from?
Oh, where are you from? Europe.
And the reason why I know that I don't even really identify with the Black British is that I promise you, ask me where I'm from and I tell you Nigeria.
Same. That's the first thing that comes up. I just assume that's what people mean.
To my mind. If it's not Nigeria, I'm like, Dagenham.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What do you mean?
When people say that to me, it doesn't matter who it is, whether it's a Black person or a white
East
person,
London.
I just literally say
Nigerian.
Ghanaian. like literally, that's just,
Wait,
where are you from? I just say Ghanaian. So I guess that's that whole first generation thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
As time goes on, that won't necessarily be a
Maybe
thing.
eventually.
Well, it depends on how invested we are in our cultures and like what we pass on and stuff like that. But yeah, naturally it won't be a thing anymore because the more people, the longer the generations are here, just naturally the more you kind of lose that connection back to the motherland.
Yeah, we just got here. I think even sometimes when I think about like strides to be made and why is this not this and why is this not be, I have to remind myself that we have not been here that long.
Yeah.
Like especially Africans.
Mm-hmm.
We have not been here that long.
Yeah.
Like as in, take time.
Yeah.
We are yet to invade.
Extend grace.
Give me a couple more years.
Yeah.
We will rob this England.
Yeah.
You wait there.
No, definitely.
This is our England.
Exactly. This is England.
This is our England.
Dot.
The best show ever made on television is This Is England. Sensational film.
Wait, hang on. Is that film? Is it about
it's
the
one
hooligans?
of my favourite films ever. This Is England is a great film. And then the series, This Is England 1960, amazing series.
Is that the one with Elijah Wood and he's got a really bad accent? He's got a really bad British accent.
Do you know, I actually don't know. Okay, here's a fun fact about me. So, for example, I always talk about Insecure as my favourite show ever. Outside of Issa's character, Molly, I don't know anyone else's name.
Yeah, it's starting to fade from my brain as well.
And it's like, I can just watch a show yesterday and you'd ask me that character's name, I'd be like, I don't know.
Tiffany and Lawrence, and that's it really. I can't remember the other people.
I don't hold characters' names. I don't know what's wrong with me. I can tell you exactly what the storyline is, what this meant, how I felt about it, what this means. Oh, what's the character's name? I don't know. The book I'm reading right now, I couldn't tell you the name of the character. I don't know why names just go outside of my head. And it's actually really annoying because when I'm writing something, I spend so long fixated on what someone has to be called. And then I'm like, wow, someone's done all of that work. And I'm telling you, it's a great book. I loved it. But like, I don't know the person's name. Yeah, Issa, Molly and Daniel.
Yeah, and Lawrence and Tiffany. They're the only people that I remember.
Yeah, I don't
like
know
that.
names at all. People that can, I think that's great because it just doesn't stick with me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more likely to know the name of the actual person than their character.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean? So even with This Is England, I'm pretty sure it is, but it's Elijah Wood is in one of them. Like he's that actor that's in Lord of the Rings with the big eyes. But I remember watching it. It's a football hooligan film, but I can't remember if it's This Is England. It might be something else. And I just remember watching it and just thinking, no, his accent is like when they were.
It's Green Street you're thinking about.
Green Street, that is the one I'm thinking of. That's exactly the film. I'm thinking, when they were signing off, who thought this accent is okay? Like, this is insane.
Was it before or after he did Lord of the Rings?
I feel like it was after, you know.
Oh, that's probably what it was. They were like, he's going to get bums on seats. They didn't give it
I honestly, I genuinely have got no idea, but it feels like after. It feels like it's not that old. But yeah, I just remember thinking that accent is terrible.
I assume Green Street's about West Ham.
Yeah, it's about football hooliganism.
Right.
But
if you're from East London and you happen to find yourself in Upton Park the day West Ham was playing, hell.
Yeah, that's them East London football clubs. That's where the hooliganism is like rife.
Like hell. I don't know about any other clubs because I don't know. I'm not on the trains when Arsenal is playing. I don't live in those areas. But to be on that district line and you are in Upton Park and West Ham is playing, just know you're going to get assaulted.
Oh God!
Someone's going to call you some kind of racist name.
And this is if they win or lose or just anytime?
It doesn't matter.
Oh God!
The game hasn't even started, just on the way there.
Oh my God!
And it was the days that I used to go to Upton Park to get my eyebrows done for £2, not £2 anymore.
Oh, that was back in the day. Ain't nothing £2 these days.
Yeah, the last time I got my eyebrows done, it was £8. And I think that's apparently cheap.
Probably
yeah,
is,
apparently that's quite
is,
cheap. And these West Ham fans, Lord above. Awful.
I think the football was just an excuse to just be fucking rowdy. Like, I'm not buying it. Like, I know people are really, really invested in football. I know how passionate they are. I'm not shitting on that. But the extra shit, That is just
The
an
thing
excuse.
is, I don't know why it's linked to racism. I just don't know why that goes hand in hand. You can just be very passionate about your team. You can call people who support Liverpool wankers. I can get that, can they? Because when I went to go watch Arsenal, a bitch can't lie to you.
You understand.
I started shouting in tempos I didn't know my voice could go up to. I didn't even support anything, right? So I went to go watch Arsenal and they were playing Paris.
PSG.
PSG. And it was a Champions League game. And okay, so PSG come with a gang. Oh my God, what they called? It's like, like the PSG gang members are, I have to find it. So PSG supporters, they come in a pack.
Ultras. Okay.
So there is like a bunch of PSG fans who are ultras and they come like ganged up. I'm talking like 200-300. They've all got the same, they all wear black hood and black jackets, like black, they all same outfits.
So they're a gang.
Group chat, yeah. I don't know what group chat they're in, but they've told each other thingy. And so they've come from Paris to watch this Arsenal game and they've taken up like shitloads of seats. They've got drums and they are singing in unison. So they've from the
that sounds more pleasant.
Before the game starts, they've already started singing. So they're going in, they're singing, they're banging their drums, and they don't stop.
Damn.
And then, to be fair, at some point, I'm like, these people are giving bangers. And I can't lie to you. Like, they were now like, okay, let's go. And I can only imagine being a football player and you're scoring towards them because they are, like, honestly,
that's some pressure, boy.
It's kind of so well orchestrated. You have to kind of salute them to be like, this is a well-oiled machine. Like, they are going in, they're going in. So anyway, playing right, and Arsenal starts to win that day, and then like Saka scores and all of that. I don't know where it came from. I started shouting, "You're not singing anymore." I said, "Are you a fuck? You're not singing anymore." I was like, "Are you a fuck?"
Well, because obviously they stopped singing.
Obviously, the singing wasn't really.
It wasn't as loud as what it was before.
Yeah, quiet
it wasn't as triumphant as what it was before.
And I was pointing. I was like, "You're not singing anymore." Like, I was so filled with adrenaline.
No, that is hilarious.
That I didn't recognise myself.
No, the stadium will do that to you though.
And that's me who doesn't support anything like that. I'm just here for the shits and giggles. Like, hey, great time. I can wear a Man U top today, Arsenal top. I don't give a heck. And the passion that filled me. So we now leave the stadium now. It's our time to go home.
And someone was like, "Oh, you, was that you? Was that you doing all that singing and pointing?"
No. Oti, whatever you need, what language you need to say to, no. But then like to Arsenal fans, like, don't cost their pass.
Oh.
Like, as in, watch how you're going home. No, legitimately.
Not in my city.
In my fucking city. Watch how especially now that they lost.
Oh, God.
And I'm with my mother-in-law. So I was just like, we see a bunch of them at the end of the road, and literally the guards are like, turn that way.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. They're like,
I'm sorry, this is pathetic. These are grown men.
The way I zipped off my coat. I was like, "Saba."
Do you know what I mean? All of a sudden you're like, what's up?
Hey, Wamba. In my country. Like, what? I was like, let's just start singing.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Please, I don't want no problems.
I do not want a hint of a problem. Even when they start the game, they tell you to go into different entrances. They're like, hey, it's a bit longer, but go this way because of like, so yeah, it's no, I don't know what takes over people.
I get it. Like, people are really passionate about their teams. I see it because in my house, it's the same thing. Like, if Fulham loses because Nick supports Fulham, so that's quite often, like, respectfully, the mood, and I get it because you're so passionate, but it's like they go in on each other. Like, the way they are with one another is actually mad. And do you know what? Because he watches all these podcasts and stuff. Yeah. People have their own podcasts, and I'm not mad at it. Whenever I see men doing men things, I don't care how problematic that sounds. I like it, and I say to him, do you know what? I love this. Like, I'm really invested in like men. They've got their screen, they've got their backdrop, they've got their mic, but they're talking about sports. Like, I'm not mad about it. Like, I have beef on the mic, but people like the ones that take it too far, like to the point of hooliganism, those people are tapped. I am so fucking sorry.
The ultras, they travel together. Like, they'll be like, here. And my thing is that,
and they go to every game.
Why is it all those links with far rightness?
Yeah,
like why is there always like a small line between this and racism?
Like, yeah, but because I don't understand it's sport. Because the thing is, I've never understood the cognitive dissonance of that.
I don't get it.
Of like, you've got black players that are playing for you, but somehow you think that if they make a mistake or if they miss a penalty or if they do whatever, then all of a sudden you switch from loving this person and fucking with them heavy to now that it's like, I don't understand how does that register in your head?
Mm-hmm.
But I guess the whole thing of it is like you're performing for us, like you're working for us. Do you know what I mean? So I can respect you because you're like a performing monkey.
I'm trying to think if there's anything. I can't lie. When there is like a World Cup, I do. Do you know what? It's good that I don't like sport. I have it in me.
What, to be a hooligan?
Yeah, not a hooligan.
If people are being racist,
hooligan adjacent.
The thing is,
not a hooligan, like a very passionate supporter. Yeah. I've got it in me.
But there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being a passionate. Like, listen, I don't even necessarily mind like the back and forth, like what you said, like call each other fucking wankers and stuff.
Yeah.
But why do you have to take it to that next level? Like, I just don't understand how. I just don't understand how you can disassociate so quickly.
Yeah.
But but for me, I think the connection is based on performance. Like, if you're performing for us, I can respect you. The minute you don't, you're just a nigger in a coupe. Like what Kanye says. Do you know what I mean? Speaking of Kanye, oh my God.
Do we want to speak of Kanye?
Do you know what? Yeah, I don't, because sometimes I don't want to give him light, and I feel like a lot of his antics are for attention. So when you talk about him, you're kind of feeding into it. But at the same time, it's so fucking diabolical. I'm just like, how can you not? Like, it's like, I at this point, I don't know what it is, but I don't think that mental health can be a crutch anymore.
What's he done now? I'm really tapped out of him, so I don't actually know.
So he went on some tirade a couple of weeks ago, just calling out everybody. There was anti-Semitism, there was anti-black womanism, there was fucking the condoning of domestic violence, there was just all sorts of mad things. He went on a tirade for 4 hours tweeting consistently. Then he produced this T-shirt with the hallway and trigger warning, the hallway that Diddy beat Cassie on and put Cassie's face on it and sold that T-shirt. And do you know what's mad? He claims that 20,000 people bought that in like 10 minutes or some shit.
That's disgusting.
So at this point, it's actually very heinous. Like, it's beyond like, Ye is just spazzing out or whatever. Like, the things he's actually saying, like, he's doubling down on his comments. Like, he doubled down on the slavery is a choice comment. He talked about having dominion over his wife, and he talked about like us slapping bitches. If bitches are disrespectful, you should slap a bitch. Like, and then he went on this other tirade just backing Diddy and just being like, yeah, like, he's a great dad. This is a conspiracy. Free Diddy. And then he said that he was partnering up with Sean John to produce like clothes so that Diddy has money to come home to, and all sorts of mad tapped things.
Of all the things to support that's happening in the world, you thought, I'm going to support Diddy. Like, of all the things to put a backing towards, to be like, this needs my money, this needs my attention, Diddy.
It's very weird. I think he's scared that Diddy's gonna sing like a canary. And so maybe, I don't know, maybe there's an agenda behind it. But even that aside, compared to he was just saying so much mad stuff.
I really so desperately want Diddy to sing.
Same. Bring everybody down. Let's expose them all. Let's get rid of all of them all at the same time.
Tell us about everybody. If it means we don't have artists again that we can like, let's start afresh and make new music.
Listen, we've got enough artists.
Tell us about everybody. I actually want to hear about every single body. We have enough music.
Exactly. There's enough music last us a lifetime.
I want to hear about everybody.
Yeah.
I want him to expose all.
Yeah.
Don't be shy. Talk up. Like, speak.
Yeah, exactly. Because bring them down with you. Do you know what I mean? This is the perfect time to be like, if I'm going down, you're fucking going down with me. Because when you're doing stuff like the things he's been accused of, you're not doing that single-handedly. Absolutely not. There's absolutely an operation of people that are helping you, and there's people that are complicit in the bullshit that you're doing. Very high level, famous people as well. And so I do think that like Kanye's whole thing is partly because of that, but I also just think that he is just, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but the whole thing with the Cassie T-shirt, I just thought that was absolutely fucking deplorable. Like, it's all deplorable, but I just thought that was very, 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 very loaded and triggering. Like, I don't know what would make you think that that's okay. And if he did, I can almost get my head around the art thing, because I'm fucking sick and tired of people just putting everything down to art. It's so it's just annoying, and it's lazy. And it's just like, it's not fucking art. I'm so sorry. Like, you're not so forward thinking. You're not so woke that you can see past. Sometimes things are just what they are, and this was just fucking foul. Like, there's nothing artistic
What could possibly be the art about that?
I don't know, but that's what they love to say. Oh, but it's just art or he's just a free thinker. Like, I'm just like, shut the fuck up. Like, no, this is just insane. Like that fucking, what's that guy, Brent? That absolute incel, that Fresh and Fits guy. Myron or whatever his name is, that fucking incel. He was like, oh, it's funny. I was like, I don't, like, it's obviously a dry sense of humor. I was like, what? Kanye has never been known for being a comedian. If anything, he's been like anti-comedian. Like, he's the least funny person ever. Like, he's like, to me, the most serious person ever. So if he's doing something, I don't connect it to comedy in the slightest.
But also, what's funny?
What's
like,
funny?
hey,
like, everything
I'm
is
all
not
here for dark
funny.
humor.
Yeah.
Where is the joke here? What's the punchline?
Exactly.
Where's the ha-ha?
Where's the ha-ha moment in that? Apart
like,
from,
actually, what's the ha-ha?
Yeah.
Tell me.
The whole, do you know how fucking tapped that is? And the people that bought it are even more tapped.
Yeah, that's what we should be worried about.
Like, those people are actually,
because there's loads
also,
of them.
yeah, and there's loads of people doing it. And there's going to be people that will be like, oh, well, I bought it because I know it's going to be worth loads one day and all of that shit. But still, like, do people have absolutely no boundaries whatsoever?
Oh my gosh, going through that kind of shit and just like watching people support your abuser must just fuck this industry,
or
man.
just people like
just
questioning you.
it.
Like, people actually question you. So I remember when that came out, I think it was Slim Thug or something. No, I think that was before the video came out. And he was doing up like, oh, we don't know. We have to wait for the facts. We have to wait for all the information. And then the video came out. And then, to be fair, he's probably one of the few men that actually came out and apologized and said, I got it wrong. And very few people do that. A lot of people just like be silent, wrong and strong, keep it moving. But it's just like, the fact that people try to find nuance in that situation, I don't know for those people. When there's actual video footage and you're still, because then the argument becomes, oh, but she still went back. It's like, do you dimwits not understand how this thing works? Like, it's not, it takes like 7 times or something for women in domestic violence situations before they can leave. Like, you don't get it. You don't get it. You think people that are in abusive relationships just get up and just walk away. Like, it doesn't. They don't want to get it. It doesn't. Yeah, they don't want to get it. They have to be committed to being wrong and strong because people don't want to be humble and admit they were wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like, people just really have a hard time.
Because sometimes to educate yourself is to come back and be like, hey, I was wrong about this thing. But if you never actually educate yourself, if you actually never be like, oh, you don't have to self-correct. And I think there is like I don't know if the word is stubbornness, but this kind of like, drop the pride, man, and be like, especially for this, that's such a blatantly wrong thing. This is not even a like,
I thought we were all in agreement.
We don't know. This is a blatant foul. Because there are many things celebrities do or whatever that I can be like, I disagree with it, but I might see a world why you do that. I think there might be a part of you that something's happened, there's something that I don't know about that's why you might have done that. But there is no rationale here.
Yeah. It's clear as day. I'm not understanding.
There was no reason why Kanye West should make T-shirts showing Cassie's abuse.
Exactly.
There's actually, there was no...
You don't need the money.
There's no rationale.
You don't need the controversy. It's not artistic. It's clearly not in any kind of like jest or humor. So what is the reason?
Like, literally, what is the reason?
Yeah, but he's just been crashing the fuck out online. And then they were like, because Elon Musk didn't, because they ban your account for a lot less on Twitter now. And he was just allowed to just run rampant for ages. Eventually, I think it did get removed or he did get taken off or something. But this was hours after, like, tweeting for hours and hours on end. And it was just like, yeah, this is just complete and utter insanity.
What's your thinking of this idea of the, like, for there to be actually free speech or whatever, everybody has to be allowed to say whatever the fuck they want, even if you agree with it or not.
I don't agree with that. I'm not one of these free speech advocates like that. I do think there has to be a limit with what you can say. And I know this, and I get why people have like, they know there should be like zero tolerance. Like, there should be like a complete freedom to say what you want, how people interpret it, how they interpret it, so long as you're not inciting violence. I don't agree with that because words have definitely been very powerful. Do you know what I mean? Like, people have said things to me that stick. So I just think to reduce words down to just being that and that they don't have impact and that, like, the only time something can be impactful is if it's literally inciting violence. I think it's just...
Do you think the argument is that they're saying that I take it as the argument is not even that it has to be impactful. It's that for us to be like, hey, everybody gets free speech, everybody gets to say whatever ridiculous, stupid thing they're saying. Because there might be a world where I might be saying something and I think it is right. I'm like, this is my moral thing. I believe in this. And there's someone listening to be like, this fucking idiot. Like who, like the same way I feel about, like the anger I feel towards like an incel talking shit might be how they feel about me talking shit. So if I'm allowed a space to say what my opinion is, there's this argument that so should everybody else, because otherwise there is no free speech. It's like if someone's not free, we're not all free.
No, I definitely get it, and I understand why people are like, no, it just needs to be free speech. It just needs to operate completely freely. Like I do get it, but I do think that at the same time, I personally just don't think people should just be able to say whatever they want, because at the end of the day, we know we have a moral compass, and I get that everyone's moral compass is different, but for the most part, people know what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah.
For the most part. Even if you're not religious and you don't necessarily follow any religious text or scripture or anything like that, for the most part, we have an idea of what is right or wrong. And you can believe something, it doesn't make it any less hateful. It doesn't make it any less violent. Do you know what I mean? So me personally, I don't know, because then people just running rampant with their crazy views.
I feel like we are on the point of when people running crazy with their views, right? I believe you should be able to say whatever you want, but I also believe that you will face the consequences of saying whatever you want. I think if you want to talk I'm of the belief of chat shit get banged. So I think if you want to, and that doesn't even have to be a physical banging. Like some bangers are economical, they're financial bangers, that you lose this, you whatever. I'd be like, cool, you want to say what you want, but there will be consequences because we do live in a law, we should be living in a law-abiding place. Even outside of law, there's moral things. So like, cool, Kanye, you want to talk all of this shit, but it's going to affect you. And what I want more is the effect of this on them. The effect
of it, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
you don't get to have this T-shirt out and get rewarded it with sales. What should happen is you put it out, and then whatever website you're putting out on, they're like, no, I think Shopify did shut it down. We're shutting this shit down. You're not doing this. Say what you want, but there will be consequences for your actions.
Yeah.
And I just think that's what it is. And you have to face those consequences. You don't just get to say it. The consequence comes. Oh my God. Oh, no. You, honey.
Yeah.
You were very adamant when you were saying these things. In fact, you wrote it in caps.
Yeah.
So you meant it. Like you truly meant it.
Yeah.
Cool. But now here are the consequences.
Yeah. I just think there's just too many tapped people out there I mean, there isn't. I think for the most part, people can say, especially with social media, people can say what they want and they will deal with the consequences, whether those consequences come or not. I wouldn't be mad at more parameters of people not being able to say what they want. But again, everything is subjective. Do you know what I mean? It really is, because then I'm saying that, but then something that I could, if there were parameters, if I wanted to say something, I could deem it as completely safe or non-harmful. But to someone else, it could be. Do you know what I mean? So I guess I understand the logic of why it's just easier to let everybody say what they want, because the policing of it's just, you can't even police it. Do you know what I mean? Like you actually can't, like, because then we're living in like a dictatorship or whatever.
And also speaking out your mouth, right, in this day and age, especially on the internet, is kind of getting rewarded. Like rage baiting is a thing. Like people interacting with your content because you made them angry.
I fucking
is a
hate
thing.
rage baiting.
So there is, yeah, exactly, right. So there's all of that. So now it's kind of like people doing it. Some people say things they don't even fucking
I think my logic is that
deeply.
most of the time they don't mean it.
Like,
because they never stand on business when it comes to the action. Very rarely.
But there's just like this to make people angry. And
yeah.
I just think what happens and what needs to happen is audiences, do you know the best way to do, like, bury it by, you didn't, do you know what it is? Like you did not, like someone is fighting for their lives trying to make you angry and you just do not react.
Yeah, exactly. And people need to identify that, because I think a lot of those rage baiter content creators and stuff like that, I think most of them don't believe it. Like I've said it about Andrew Tate on the Very Here platform. The minute someone's actually pressing him about it, you're starting to dilute what you're saying. If you really truly meant it, you would say it. Do you know what I mean? Because then someone's interviewing him and they're like, do you hate women? And he's like, no. But you tweeted, I hate women. So why did you tweet that if you didn't mean it? You tweeted it because you wanted engagement. I think that yeah, they wanted engagement, they wanted the comments, they wanted the likes, because that all just translates into money at the end of the day.
But the sad thing about it is that they're young audiences who see that don't know that I don't mean that.
Yeah.
They think that's the right thing to follow.
Exactly.
And that's what's heartbreaking about it.
Exactly. And that's what's dangerous. And as a young person, you are supposed to be impressionable because your frontal lobe hasn't fully developed yet. Do you know what I mean? You're not supposed to necessarily have like the logic or the intelligence levels to be like, hey, yeah, like this person's just an asshole and they're just trying to make money. Like you just take it for what it is, innit? So that's where it does become problematic. But I don't believe any of those fucking people. I really don't. Because like I said, if they stood on business and they actually backed it up or they doubled down, then cool. But they very rarely double down. When they're pressed, all of a sudden it's like, oh no, what I actually meant was this, or oh, it was a joke, funny, haha, I was being sarcastic. It's just like, sure.
And also, I just think that for the things, for example, Kanye West says, right, your music is not that good enough. Like, there's no music good enough that is there like, oh, let's ignore that because we need this track in my life.
Especially not the fucking new music.
There is no song good enough. Even if you love College Kid or whatever it's called, College Days, what's that album
College
called?
Dropout.
College Dropout. Even like as in, the best song on College Dropout doesn't be like, oh.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
It just doesn't. It just doesn't.
Yeah. And he's putting out new music like simultaneously whilst doing all of this. And it's just like, it's just a shame. And Charlemagne had an interesting take. He just said he just thinks all of this is just jealousy. He's just jealous of Kendrick. Kendrick's getting all the shine. Like Kendrick is basically everything that Kanye should be. You know, he's prolific. He's doing his thing. He's conscious. He's like shaking tables. He's getting people thinking he's a conversation starter. He's taken down his ops. Like he's done everything you're supposed to do in rap, and Kanye just hasn't been doing that for a long time. I can't even remember the last time Kanye had a beef with anybody. I think Drake is basically his op and 50 Cent at one point. And so, yeah, so I can see that because he was doing all of this whilst like Kendrick stuff was hot.
Yeah.
So there's definitely room for that argument as well. But I don't ever try to understand Kanye West. I just think it's a massive shame because at one point he was my favorite rapper and I still think he's super talented. I just think that it's just his energy is just misguided and I don't know what the fuck is going on with him. But I think mental health is now, like I'm not buying that one. I just think it's unfair to people that have the things that he's now claiming, autism and bipolar and all of these things. There's plenty of people that live with those conditions that do not act this way. So I'm just not buying it.
But he says he doesn't take his meds when he's creating, right? So maybe it's not being on them when he's creating, which then, I don't know. Like, there's nothing to side that man in any way, shape or form. There's no point trying to be like, oh, he's doing this because of this.
Only he knows.
Just thinking, being high profile and being jealous of someone high profile must just be so long. Man.
Yeah, can you imagine? That must
be
you
can never get away from it.
Fuck.
Oh my God.
That must be a mind fuck.
They are everywhere. Like you walk and there's a billboard. You walk like, imagine someone in the industry and be like incredibly jealous of Beyonce. That's just a long, it's actually such a long day.
Pick another opponent, please, because you'll just be pissed all day.
Like it's actually must just be such a long day. Every time you're seeing this person being held successful, like every single time. Because I'm sure there's someone in the world, though I can't imagine it, who's like, nah, Beyonce wasn't nice to me once. And they've held on to it. Yeah. And it must just kill them.
To see her get like so much love. But even the other day, the other day when I was on the train on my way to Newcastle, randomly I went down this rabbit hole of like Super Bowl performances.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was watching Beyonce's, the one that she did with Bruno Mars. She's done it twice, innit? But I was watching the one she did with Coldplay and Bruno Mars, and I fucking love that performance. I thought it was so epic. And I was reading the comments and it was like, I was watching the performance and then reading the comments at the same time. And I'm looking at this thing thinking, this is so flawless. Like, how can anyone find fault with such perfection? Because it's like, even if you don't like her genre of music or whatever, that is completely fair. That does not have to be your taste. But you cannot take away from the fact that like, I can watch like a really powerful rock performance. It's not necessarily my first genre of choice. But if someone's eating in a rock performance.
You can tell when someone's eating.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? You can tell when someone's passionate, they're eating, their mic is on, whatever. And I can just be like, no, that was still dope. It's not for me, but that's dope. So I'm looking at the comments and I'm just like, I don't know, I sound like a crazy stan, but how can anyone critique like, how can people critique? I was just like, no, people were actually critiquing in the comments. And I was just like, and then people were like, oh, Coldplay's bit was the best.
Okay.
And I was just like,
but
whatever makes you feel better, hun. And Coldplay tore it down in that performance. It was banging. I thought that the whole thing was dope. But come on. Even Bruno Mars ate. But like, I just feel like people just want to be contrarian. Bruno Mars
is a good performer.
No, he's dope.
I remember seeing him once in London. I was like, this guy is sensational.
No, he's very, very good.
Yeah,
like, that's a concert I would pay to go and see because I feel like he puts in the time and effort. Like, I feel like, and he can dance, he can sing. I feel like he's very, very talented, but he's kind of like, where is he?
Yo, PSA. please, when you're handing out the invites for the Love Islanders for Wireless, include me.
Oh my God.
Like, that Sunday,
Yeah, because they're all going to be there, innit?
include
My
me.
God.
Like, as in, add me to the list of invitees.
Mhm.
I used to pray for days like this. Drake, and then Drake.
I'm not mad at a 3-day
Burner,
Drake lineup, you know.
Drake, Burnham, and Vibes Cartel.
That's actually going to be insane. Wireless needs
They
to see
said
us.
Black Brit, Black Jamaican, Black African.
Exactly. They said all the continents.
said-
Well, we don't have any Black and Americans, do we?
Yeah, they don't like our food
not
anyway.
Not the
doesn't matter.
blueprint.
They don't like
I'll
our
be in
food.
there.
So it's fine. But you think I don't need to be on stage whilst Burner Boy says, lick it like ice cream, as if you mean to be disgusting? I have to be there.
No, that's gonna be banging. Even though did
the Vice performance at the Mobos make you want to look forward to his Wireless performance?
No.
Oh.
However, it did definitely evoke like nostalgia and stuff like that. Because like hearing the songs live, I've obviously like I've never seen Vibes live.
Yeah.
But no, it was really but it was more like the energy than the actual performance. But I feel like when he does do his performance and he's doing banger after banger after banger, I think it's going to be more that than the actual like you know, like if you go and watch Beyonce, you know Beyonce's putting on a show. I know like Vibes isn't well and stuff like that, so I'm not expecting like a Beyonce level performance. But I feel like some people have such good music that all of that stuff doesn't matter.
Okay,
every time
cool.
I go and see Wizkid, I think the same thing. I think your music is so fire. You could really just be doing nothing on stage and the vibe is still going to be absolutely immaculate.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's going to be the same. I feel like it's going to be the same thing. Like I would actually probably pay to go and see Vibes Cartel because I feel like the energy would be crazy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I need to see Vibes.
So I feel like
I need to see Drake, I need to see Vibes.
Yeah.
I was gutted at the weekend. I didn't realise Cranium was in town.
Oh yeah,
until I saw it on people's videos.
Yeah,
it's like,
same.
Where was this advertised? I would love
know.
to see Cranium.
I don't know how people know about all these shows and
I was
stuff.
actually so gutted.
Yeah.
I really like his music. You guys know about my deep affinity, like, you know, with Bashment. Love that shit.
Yeah.
Fucking love that shit. Bashment, Afrobeats, and Drake.
I know. That's
Sunday. Apparently it's sold out though.
Oh, I'm not
apparently
surprised.
Friday and Sunday sold out, but the Drake and Fandom hasn't sold out yet though.
Oh, no.
But who's Fandom?
That's what I don't know. That was a whole big discussion online as well about who the Fandom is, and people were like, oh God, people in their takes.
Do you know when people decide hot takes and what we're going to focus on? Who is the leader? Who decides this is the focus?
I don't know, because I'll be so for real, yeah. My TikTok is full of that sort of content. So I do often see people's like opinions on things, yeah. And more time it's things that like never would have crossed my mind. Like I don't think I'm like, I don't know, I just don't tap into things like that. But people were like, I saw one take, which I do kind of see, and it kind of links back to what we were talking about earlier. And like this whole thing of like, there's so many talented artists in the UK and there isn't one like UK headliner.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So it's just like, this is a British festival on British soil, and like, why are we kind of like, what's the word? Placating
for a long time with Wireless,
people.
It's been a lot of American headliners. I can't remember the last time Wireless had a...
Yeah, like, but who would?
A lot of the headlines have
been...
Who
would be headlining from here? Who could? Central C?
Yeah.
And who else? I don't know who else.
I'm deeply thinking.
I'm proper trying to think.
Look, I'm old, right? The other day, someone said D-Block Europe to me, and I thought they just added names. To me, it sounded like it said chair, mic, laptop. I didn't. Those three words together didn't mean something to me. But I'm also aware that it's not the kind of music I listen to. So fair. But I don't know.
Me either. But that's the
Stormzy?
take. Oh yeah, true. That's yeah, absolutely. I saw that and it was just like, and it was like something about how, because the thing is, the assumption is that the Mandem are UK artists. So people are saying
that would make sense.
That the Mandem are going to be like the Daves and possibly Skepta and all of them, who are absolutely huge, massive artists. So the take I saw, the person was like, why are you reducing these people down to Drake's Mandem? Do you know what I mean? Like, if it is that, it's like the supporting acts of Drake are UK artists, why are their names not on the flyer? Like, why have they not been amplified? This is not my opinion. I have no opinion. I literally just saw Drake, Burna Boy, and Vibes Cartel and was gassed, and I really want to go.
Yeah.
However, I know I've become far more bougie the longer I've been doing this podcast, but I cannot be in general admission.
Oh, no.
I just cannot.
Oh, no.
Okay, I'm gonna be 40 years old next year. I if I'm gonna go, I need to be in VIP. And I would happily pay for it. But if it's sold out, it's sold out. But I would need to be in VIP. I cannot.
Can't do Gen Pop
I
no
can't
more.
do Gen Pop. And
Can't
not
do
because
Gen
of
Pop.
status, but because of backache. Okay?
I need the option to sit down
and
at some
leg
point. There has to be an
ache
option to sit down.
and a weaker bladder and all of these things that come with getting older. It's absolutely to do with that. Because I've just, it's just not a bit
But
of
also,
me.
I'm not a person, like the last concert I went to and was standing because it was all standing. I want to say it was a Marion.
Damn.
Which is absolutely ages ago. It was at Coco, and Coco's not even Coco anymore. It was ages ago. And I will always remember that concert because it was the weirdest thing to me because he came out to a Drake song.
So rate your music more. You made Icebox and Touch, okay?
Why have you not come out to Icebox or at least a B2K song?
That's weird to have an entrance song at your concert though.
And it was sorry, I have to do it because he's a dancer, so he goes.
Oh, not body. He didn't cartwheel in.
It starts like this.
Oh God.
And then it's Drake's Legend. Oh my God, if I die, I'm a legend.
He didn't even remix it.
No, he just kept moving every time Drake said a legend. And I was like,
No,
I see that you're trying to be like legendary music, I'm a Marion. But not to another man's song.
Yeah, no.
When you are also a musician.
When you're at a concert, your own show.
To Icebox where my heart used to be. We could have done all of that.
But
to
no,
Icebox.
he should have got his DJ to get to work, okay, and make some sort of track where they mix his song or something. He could have done. Amarian, sir. You should have definitely done better than that. That's weird.
Yeah, it was really like, oh, this is a weird thing to come out to, but sure.
But
Good
good for
concert.
him.
Had a good time. He's a good dancer.
Yeah, no, I do like a bit of Amarian.
So it was at least a little B2K song. B2K hate each other, don't they?
I know they really hate.
Fuck
But well, I think everyone hates Amarian. I think that's the truth.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, because the others are on live together all the time.
Oh,
Fizz, Raspy, and Boog, J Boog. They live on TikTok Live.
The way I used to fancy J Boog.
They live there. They stay there all day. They're on live for hours. And obviously Amarian's the only one that's not there. So I feel like they don't fuck with him.
Yeah, J Boog and Amarian were crushing.
Yeah, aren't they cousins? Or did I make that up?
I don't know. They were so fantastic looking to me.
Yeah.
Like
Amarian just used to just be so cute to me. He's got puppy dog eyes. I just think,
I just thought, wow.
But he's always had hair, isn't it?
From what I remember. I don't remember I ever really... Did I used to fancy... I think I fancied Bow Wow as well.
Yeah, Bow Wow was a good looking guy.
But there were certain like stars of that generation that they just threw out teenage girls to fancy. They're like, go fancy them.
Yeah. When they brought out Young Romeo, whatever his
Lil
name
Romeo,
is.
yeah.
I just don't think that beef, not beef, but like that.
Oh yeah, the Lil Romeo
pitting
and Bow
them
Wow
against
beef.
each other, that just didn't really hit. I don't think.
And also, we didn't want the drama. We could have loved.
We could just love them equally.
Teenage love and horniness was big enough for us to fancy them
We could
all.
spread that
like
out,
literally
wide and far.
fancy Romeo Wednesday to Wednesday and fancy Bow Wow other days. Like these were absolutely valid things that we could have had time for.
Bow Wow was the better rapper though.
Give me a Romeo verse. I actually can't think of one song right now.
I was gonna say Little Romeo. They just don't know, but it's Little Bow Wow.
It's a Little Bow Wow. They just it's not that. When I think of Romeo, I keep thinking Romeo, but that's not Little Romeo either.
No, I don't know any of his songs. I just know
No,
Bow Wow
I have
songs.
to know Little Romeo song.
There must be one bait one. But there was a band as well called, oh my God, what were they called? And they had a song called Flavor. And that used to slap, but they were one of those teeny bop, like R&B groups as well. And there was always one with a moustache, like 12. I was like, why is it always one that's got a moustache, but you're 12?
Babe, I'm going to read out a list of Little Romeo songs.
Okay.
Called, please tell me if any of them sound thingy. My Cinderella.
No.
Two-Way.
No.
Back On.
No.
You Can't Shine Like Me.
I don't know any of these songs.
My Girlfriend. Throw 'Em Up.
Not Throw 'Em Up. No.
Parents Just Don't Understand, but that's not his song. I know that song, but not from his.
Yeah. Parents Just Don't. I think that was originally.
That's cool. When I Grow, Your ABCs, Somebody's in Love, My Baby.
Maybe My Baby.
How would that go?
I could not tell you. But that's the only title that kind of feels like I've got no.
What is that? Just because it's Baby, right? And that's like
Probably.
a title for every
it could
song
be
ever
any
in the
song.
world.
Yeah, exactly. It could be any song. I've genuinely got no clue.
I'd never fancied Justin Bieber. Maybe I was too old by the time he came out. I did not fancy that boy.
I just always saw him as a little boy. Even though,
yeah. Even though I'm
how
like,
old is he?
I don't know, but he's a married man with a kid. And every time I'm like, little small boy of yesterday. Like, as in, what do you mean Justin Bieber's got married? He's married with a kid.
Yeah, I don't think he was for us. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think his audience, I just never fancied him.
Who did you fancy out of Backstreet Boys?
I didn't really fancy anyone in Backstreet Boys. I was never really that person. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if I liked a band, it wasn't because I fancied them. It was because I just really fucked with their music. So I really loved NSYNC and Backstreet Boys back in the day. But if there was anybody that I fancied, I used to be, and I've said this before on this here platform, but no one will know who I'm talking about. Actually, Amanda, you might know them. Our producer. I was obsessed with a band called Bros when I was a kid, but I was literally like 5, and they were a band from the 80s. And there was 2 brothers, and I used to cry when they came on the TV, to the point where my mum...
Out of excitement.
Yeah, out of excitement, and like, I don't even know what that is at that age, but I love the song. They had the song that went, will I be famous? And I was obsessed with Bros when I was like 5.
Is that their original song?
I think, yeah, they were.
Because I know that song. I had no idea
it's been sampled so many times. Yeah. But outside of that, and I was obsessed with 3T as well. Like, obsessed with 3T.
That's the Jackson family, right?
Michael Jackson's nephews. I was obsessed, and I used to like write to the fan club, everything. Like, I was obsessed with them. But yeah, and I fancied TJ. Oh my God, I fancied TJ so badly. He looks quite bloated now, but I loved them back in the day.
Bring back fancying.
It used to feel teenage girls yearn like that.
That yearning was so...
Do you think they still have that?
I hope so.
Because I'm not in tap with teenagers at all, and I'm glad, because I'm
that
a grown-ass
yearning.
woman.
Like, it used to feel like it was overwhelming me.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that you said you see him on TV and you'd cry.
I used to physically cry.
It was such an overwhelming feeling of like, oh my God. I don't know if people still have that with celebrities now, maybe because of social media. Because we only used to see them when it was some of the pops.
But the BTS lot, they do. Like the K-pop fans, like they go in. They are still proper stans. Like, we still have the stan groups, but I don't know about that whole thing of like the teenage girl and the pop star and
our Fandom was healthy. I guess because there was no weird place.
There was a barrier.
Stand off against stand off, stand against stand.
Yeah, exactly. Where are we going?
The Nicki stands and any other stand, like, they'll be
online
rocking. Whereas we didn't have anywhere to rock other stands
at all. And who would be the rivals anyway? Do you know what I mean? I feel like we were just more unified stands back then.
Yeah, there was no rivalry.
There was no rivalry. Yeah. It's just like, I fuck with NSYNC, you fuck with Backstreet Boys. Everyone lives their life.
You could like 5 and
exactly. You could love 5 and Backstreet Boys or Boyzone, whoever it was at the time. Do you know what I mean? There was no need to be so like...
Boyzone.
Like, do you know what I mean? There was no need to be so like attached to one group.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Also, I don't mean to sound ridiculous, but I don't think I'm going to watch Love is Blind this season.
Me either.
I watched the first episode.
Only because of the things that I've seen.
I didn't finish it.
I've heard.
It was so boring.
I heard that it was, and we talk about it every year
on
the Receipts podcast.
So boring. I don't know if it's the town that they're in this year. It was so boring.
I saw the thing and it was like, you're supposed to tell me these are 5 different people. And it was like these 5 white men with like mousy brown hair, and they all look exactly the same.
Have you tried to watch it?
No, I haven't even attempted to watch it. I usually would absolutely get so gassed for Love is Blind, but then I kept on seeing all of this critique on Twitter, and I was like, oh, I won't bother then.
I even saved it.
And I haven't seen anybody talk about it.
I was well excited. Audrey, the takeaway was like, cool, we're going to have a great time tonight.
Aww.
And I was like, this is boring.
I was just waiting to finish Apple Cider Vinegar, which I've finally now finished.
Oh, you finished now?
And then I was going to start that after, but I don't think I'm going to bother for the first time in many years.
Yeah, it's not giving.
It also comes round too quick as well. The American one.
I just wanted to give us a UK one now.
The UK one was like, I'm not interested. Good. Like, I'm ready for that.
Because,
yeah. But,
and I think this whole taking away DEI, we're seeing it loud and clear, boy. Mm-hmm. Fucking hell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, maybe we started getting spoilt and thinking we could be on television and willy-nilly. But clearly not, because I was like, sorry, give me some representation matters.
No, it was
like,
so funny, because someone was like, there was like some woman, and she was like, I can't believe I'm watching Beyonce's performance and there's no white people. And then someone was like, but you said get rid of DEI. So in that space, the white person would be the DEI.
Would be the thingy,
So which is it? Which is it?
And also, people of color only a minority in the Western world.
Mm-hmm.
So like we're not a worldwide minority.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
we're actually
Well,
the
well,
ethnic majority.
But the PR would make you believe otherwise.
Yeah, we're actually
Do you know
the
what I
ethnic
mean?
majority.
But we're actually the majority. But
of the world.
Of the world. But I just feel like there's too much hierarchy even within all of the non-whites. There's so much beef. It's just like if we actually united and remove that, it would actually be a wrap. But that will never happen.
System's not set up like that, is it?
At all.
The system can't be set up like that.
It can't. It's impossible. There needs to be someone on top at all times. But if we actually unified and stopped seeing like different, like, I know that sounds so corny, but like differences.
United colours of Benetton.
And fam, but that will never happen. That is an absolute utopia. That will never, ever, ever, ever happen in a million years. Like,
so I don't mean to sound ridiculous, but have you ever bought anything from the United Colours of Benetton?
Back in the day,
what did you used to buy?
They used to have a jumper. Yeah. And it was like a sweater. Yeah. And it said United Colours of Benetton on it. And it was football pitch green with white writing on it.
Oh.
And that was the only thing I've ever purchased from there. Because they used to be one of those brands like, and I'm not even trying to shit on them because their stuff is actually very good quality. But they used to be one of those brands where it was like, so you know now everyone wears high-end designer. Like I see kids going to school with Hermes belts, yeah? But they're back
it must
in the
just be
day,
fakes because I don't understand.
It has to be. But there used to be like a level of brands which weren't designer,
but it felt like
like they still felt high end. So
yeah.
it was like French Connection.
I can't
Miss 60.
There was a time Topshop felt like that to me.
Exactly,
I cannot lie to you, boy.
Exactly. But those were the labels that you could actually wear their name on it and it would actually be quite cool.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you could wear a French Connection top, you could wear like a Miss 60 top or whatever, and it would actually be like thingy.
What?
And United Colours of Benetton was one of those brands back then.
Yeah.
But now I just feel like we don't really have that anymore. It's like if you're buying from those places because you like good quality. But again, I'm very far removed from like teenagers and what they do. Because even I went into Abercrombie and Fitch over Christmas to get my niece something. And I thought it was for teenagers.
No, it's definitely not.
And I just saw like trench coats and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, when did the branding of Abercrombie change?
No,
they rebranded.
The amount of do you know the whole Abercrombie outside of the Netflix documentary? Have you listened to the podcast?
No. What did they do? I know that they were seen as problematic.
No, it's not even. What's this podcast
what
called?
Did they do?
It's a World of Secrets podcast, and it's sex parties doing
sex parties.
As in no, Abercrombie. No, as in it is the owner was on some fuckery.
I just thought that their biggest scandal was the fact that they discriminated against people that weren't hot, blonde, and tan.
There was that, and there was a whole heap of mess.
Oh shit.
Like a whole heap of like genuinely like sex parties and taking advantage or like getting sex workers and not paying them and like abusing.
The sex workers,
no, as in like it is. Yeah. The story of Abercrombie is a bit of a mad. Yeah, it's season 1 of World of Secrets and like they'll have like the owner was like sleeping with. It was just all. It's all very.
Why can't people just be rich and live?
Guy, Mike Jeffries.
No, I didn't know anything.
Oh my God, that story is yeah. Mike Jeffries.
So where did Abercrombie and Fitch come from? If his name's Mike Jeffries,
no. I have no idea. But like the story about that is even like the story about Alpha Head.
Yeah, all that stuff coming out about him. I was gonna call it tea, but it's not tea because that's like proper reducing.
World of Secrets has a season than him as well, and it is. I did not know he was.
Me either. I just thought he was someone that faced racism and was fighting.
And the thing is, there was a time where he was really. There was a big newspaper article that was going to come out about everything that he'd been doing because he was like hiring young girls, kind of sexually assaulting them, there was loads of fuckeries, and this paper was going to come out, and I think. Before it came, maybe a day or two before it came out, a couple of days before it came out, that's when the car crash happened.
Oh, shit.
So it just covered, that story just got like swept to the side, obviously now, because the bigger story is this now. So it's just when the women thought, finally, that happened and it just got swept. And you're listening to this woman, because this World of Secrets podcast interviews some of these women, and like trauma and what it does to you is, it's like some of these women are talking 20 years on, and as soon as they hear his name, you hear their voice. Like it, when they say that whole the body keeps score and like what, like it's fuck. That's why this, did you? And kind of like that's not funny. Like as in, do you know?
Yeah.
What's happening here?
I know. I don't know if we're just becoming so desensitized to this stuff that we just lack empathy now when it comes to things, but you're forgetting that these are actual people that have these things that they have to live with every single day. I feel like we just forget about that side of things, but I can't even imagine like hearing someone's name. I feel that way about people that are nowhere near that context, let alone that. Do you know what I mean?
I can react to someone just like they need to make me feel away. Yeah, and they've never like hurt me.
Literally,
like
let alone
physically.
someone physically hurting you. I can't even imagine what that feels like, and the fact that like we don't take it seriously as a world, like it just makes me sick. No. Well, that was a sad note to end on.
Do you have a joke? Do you want to end? That's a lot of words I tried to come out there. Do you want to end on a happier note?
I will tell a joke.
Go, let's hear it.
Would you call a bunch of strawberries in a band?
Huh? Say that again.
Would you call a bunch of strawberries in a band a jam session?
That was even the worst note.
Brent was laughing. That was funny. And I've got another one.
It was delivery. Okay, let's go again.
I've got another one.
Okay.
How do elephants make calls on the elephone? Sorry, that's from Miss Rachel. That's actually a children's joke. I should not be telling it on this grown people's platform. But that just came to my mind. I haven't actually told a joke in ages.
Yeah.
I'd be forgetting them these days. My memory's like a sieve. But that's it. I just wanted to end on a lighter note because it just went.
Elephone is awful.
That's awful, isn't it? That's even me.
It's not even a joke.
That's for children. Like it's literally for 1-year-olds. Like literally for 1-year-olds. But the jam session one, I genuinely think that was funny. A jam session. Who made that song? Stevie Wonder. That slaps.
What? And we're jamming. Stevie Wonder wrote and we're jamming.
Master Blaster.
Wait, sing the song.
So you will be jamming until the break of dawn.
Sorry, I was thinking, and we're jamming.
Oh yeah, that is a song.
Is that the same song?
No. Isn't that Bob Marley?
I was like, wait. Steve Wonder wrote that.
No.
Okay, cool. We're confusing our black legends.
Exactly.
Remember, this is our England.
We're taking over.
We're going to take it over. Thanks, guys, for listening. I've been your girl, Tolly T.
And just call me Audrey.
Bye.
Bye. Like, share, and subscribe.